Everybody always looks at this part of Scottie Scheffler's golf swing, but the problem is that they miss the most important bit. And that piece, the piece you can actually learn from, it's been there this whole time. From his time as a kid, to a junior golfer, to a college player, and now to the dominant world number one that he's become. Scottie works on it with his coach Randy Smith relentlessly. It's the engine of every golf swing, and Scottie Scheffler has tuned it better than anybody else. And it's one of the big reasons why he's become such a dominant ball striker. The best we've seen since Tiger Woods.
Wow, that is so good. Took a little while to figure it out, but boy, did he flush that one.
Let's dive in. So this is the part of Scottie Scheffler's golf swing that everyone loves. The flailing, sliding feet. But that move, it's not really a cause. It's an effect. It's the light bulb turning on after you've already flipped the switch. To find the really important bit, you need to rewind to what happens starting right here. Look at Scottie's right leg as he begins his backswing. His hips and body turn, but his right leg stays in pretty much the same amount of bend that it started with. Now this idea, the idea of keeping your right knee bent, is kind of a controversial move in golf swing circles. It started because of a big study called the X Factor, which found that the most powerful golfers at that time had the biggest difference between their hip turn and their shoulder turn. In other words, they turned their shoulders a lot more than their hips. And that's true for Scottie too. You can see it, just look right here. The problem was that a lot of people misunderstood the findings of this really good study, and they started teaching people to make a big shoulder turn while trying not to turn their hips, to resist. For some golfers, this worked, but the strain of this move caused a lot of other golfers, sometimes even the best golfers in the world, back pain.
Oh my God, this is probably 40 yards, maybe 50 yards left of the green.
Wow.
And it went down in pain.
It's a death sentence in the golf swing, and it's why this move is taught differently now than it was in the 90s and early 2000s. When you fast forward to now, most teachers acknowledge that hip turn itself is very good, but there is a wrong way to get it. The key is to stretch and turn your body at the same time. Imagine a big rubber band from your left foot to your right shoulder, like you see David Ledbetter doing right here. You want to turn while keeping this rubber band nice and tight. And this stretch-contract move is actually very consistent when you do it properly, because this is how our bodies are designed. Our oblique muscles power our ability to turn, and they run all down our body in a kind of X pattern. If you want to snap them hard, you need to stretch them big. And if you want to stretch them big, you need to pull them apart the way they were designed, which isn't just turning, it's turning up and across. Amateur golfers often cheat this move. Yes, they turn, but they turn without stretching. Often you'll see them doing this by locking out their right leg and toppling their body back over to the left. Other times, you can see them getting smaller during their backswing, almost like they're shrinking. They're turning again, but they're not really producing that stretch that they need. That doesn't just cost them power, but also consistency, because you're not really using your muscles the way they work best. But Scottie, of course, doesn't do this. As he turns into his bent right leg, he's stretching all of these big leg muscles in his right leg. Then, as he lifts and turns his arms all the way to the top, look how high they get. He's stretching all these muscles in his upper body now too. This turning and stretching, this is like 80% of your golf swing. And Scheffler hasn't just spent years with his coach Randy Smith working on the technique of this. He trains relentlessly in the gym with his fitness coach, Dr. Troy Van Biesen. Day after day, they train getting better at turning and stretching and turning and stretching.
I do work very hard at tournaments, but I would say my days are longer at home, for sure. I mean, the amount of work that we put in at home to get here to a tournament site to be ready to play is pretty extensive. And I step on the first tee, I tell myself I'm prepared. I've done everything I could to play good this week, and it's time to go out and compete and do our best.
He's perfecting a movement that is, again, how we're designed to work. Scottie's working with his body, not against it. And this is why his golf swing lasts, even when he's tired, even when he's not feeling it, even when it's raining or he's not 100% physically. Scottie Scheffler has put the time in getting this big, important movement right. And with the engine of his car in such good shape, it allows Scottie to spend time to focus on all the other little details. Fundamentals like getting his grip right and his alignment, dialing in his club face control and his routine. He keeps the big stuff in good shape so that during tournament weeks, he can hone the boring fundamentals. It's a recipe for day-to-day consistency. And as for his feet, like I said, this is kind of an after effect. After he stretches and turns up to his right on the backswing, his muscles contract forcefully down. Then, after he hits the ball, it's the same move, just reversed. He starts stretching and turning up to the left this time. And when he does this so hard, so much that he literally lifts himself off the ground. His feet slide as his body lifts towards the sky, and for a brief moment, the best player on the planet becomes weightless. It's the true sign of an important move well made. Yes, it may look a little funny, but the next time you see it, remember that there's something far more important that you can learn from it.